Hello friends, and welcome back to 3 Minute Game Pass, the show where I give you a quick rundown on whether or not this Game Pass game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Going Under. Can you escape the real world hell of an unpaid internship at a uppity Seattle startup tech company? Let's find out. When it comes to specs, this one's pretty simple. It's a PC and Xbox release, but with no cross-saving, so you can't transfer your save between your devices. There's no optimization for any next-gen consoles, but I found the game ran well regardless, and there's also no DLC, so what you see is what you get, which is always appreciated. So what is Going Under? It's a roguelike set in the corporate hell of a startup set in Seattle. The general premise being you are an unpaid intern named Jacqueline who gets roped into essentially going into the basement and murdering all of the former employees of the previous startups that have failed. Now, that sounds a bit morbid, but the reality is this game is pretty damn funny. It has a lot of great jokes, a lot of in-jokes about the startup scene that exists in Seattle and kind of that bit pretentious way that they do business. The main combat flow is fairly unique in that you have to pick up basically anything you can find in the office to beat the crap out of these former employees. Keyboards, mice, chairs, whatever. Everything has stats and a durability meter similar to Breath of the Wild. And so you're going to be constantly switching weapons in order to defeat the enemies that you encounter. Beyond that, the structure is just your traditional roguelike. You go in the dungeon, you get some permanent currency and some temporary currency. When you die, the permanent currency gives you more unlocks so that your future runs are a little easier, and so on and so forth. So what I like about this game, I think it can't be understated how funny I find the story. All the characters are very endearing in their own kind of Seattle douchebag sort of way. I really loved Jacqueline. She was very funny, she didn't take no guff, and she was very relatable, and her plight was understandable. There's tons of weapons in this game, so you're going to have to mix up how you play and your combat mechanics as you progress, especially based on the power-ups you get, which is pretty fun. Lastly, this game actually ends. It has a conclusion to the story and everything. Most roguelikes kind of just go forever. This one has a finale, which I appreciate. I don't need to play it forever. In terms of minuses, the combat takes a little while to get used to. You feel a little floaty at first. I did figure it out, but it's no Hades. There's really only 3 unique areas in the game that get recycled later on. It's fine, but, you know, you're going to see a lot of the same enemies and same backgrounds and stuff. So as you know, I rate games on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, or don't bother. This one is a maybe consider. I feel like it is a decent roguelike. It is a funny game, but the humor might not land with you if you're not familiar with the content. And while the roguelike qualities are good, they're not, like, amazing. And as you probably know, there's a ton of roguelites on Game Pass to choose from. But I do think this game is a bit of a hidden gem because no one ever talks about it, and I had a really great time with it and its humor. So if you're into that sort of thing, maybe you can consider checking it out. But that's all I got for you today on 3 Minute Game Pass. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you go out there and enjoy Going Under. Oh, I get it. Make a the better world place. It was so simple.